Sadistic Penguin Studios presents It's Getting Drafty in Here.
Drafty old barn.
The show of drafting random nonsense.
I choose business ethics.
And now, coming to you from his basement, a.k.a. Draft Headquarters, your host and draft master, Magnificent Stan.
Hello, welcome to episode 21 of It's Getting Drafty in Here. I am your host, Magnificent Stan, otherwise known as Brian. Today is Tuesday, July 11th, 2023. And today's topic, we're going back to the film era, the film genre. We're going to be doing terrible movies, so movies that are not good, that you just can't get enough of. So today my guests are, first we're starting with Sadistic Penguin co-founder. The joke is that we've been making comments to each other in our group chat for the Penguins that like who's the leader of the Penguins. So Svo's going to find himself to call him one of the co-founders, which
I am one of the co-founders.
We have Yumper and Svo. What's going on, my homie?
Magnificent Stan, I am fantastic. I am very happy to be here with both of you fine gentlemen, two of my favorite people in the entire world. Shankster and I text all the time. I talk with you every day. I'm super excited to do this.
Right on.
What did Robin Williams say in Good Will Hunting? I'm pumped. Let the healing begin. No, Matt Damon said that to Robin Williams, actually.
No, he said, who's Ted Kaczynski? All right. So now next we have our buddy Shankster. This is number 3 for you, right?
3. Yes, sir. How we doing?
Right on. Fucking fantastic, man.
Awesome.
You two are my favorite human beings on planet Earth. I can't wait to gab about feature films.
I fucking love you.
Is that for me or for Brian?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to be your answer.
Feelings ditto.
Oh, and our fearless leader has responded. Yumper.
I thought you're HPIC, head penguin in charge, bro.
HPIC? Okay, that's fine. I'll take that designation. But all right, let's dive right in. We got the first round. We got our picks, our order set. Svo is going first. What do you got, brother?
So, we talked about this before we went live. Yumper and I did a similar episode, and I'm going to go completely opposite of everything I picked there. Not opposite, but different. I've watched this movie probably 700 times, and I love it, and it's fantastic. But when you go back and you watch it, you realize how terrible it is. I'm going to go with Armageddon with Ben Affleck, Bruce Willis, the Michael Bay. It's a great, fun movie, but it's bad. It is awful.
It is. But like you said, it's just so good though.
Yeah.
If it's solely for that scene, the scene where he's got the fucking animal crackers and he's like riding them along.
He's riding him along Liv Tyler's navel,
and he has and
Aerosmith plays in the background.
Yes, and he has like a British accent.
Yeah,
I'm gonna actually make this bigger.
The other scene is when they're about to board the ship, and he starts singing John Denver, and then everybody chimes in, and they start singing "Leaving on a Jet Plane," and it's one of my favorite scenes in a movie ever. But it's just so bad.
It's pretty terrible.
Yeah. So Armageddon, one of one.
The whole premise of like being able to train like a bunch of guys that work on an oil rig to be astronauts in like a weekend is just absolutely asinine, and I love it.
If you ever listen to
shut up, Yumper.
The director commentary where Ben Affleck's like questioning all this stuff, and Michael Bay just basically tells him to shut the fuck up.
Affleck is like hammered in the director's commentary.
Oh, yeah.
He is drunk as shit recording that director's commentary.
Oh,
and like it's funny because he's drunk recording the director's commentary for Armageddon, but then you realize that he went to rehab for alcoholism shortly after he recorded that. And I'm like, I feel bad for laughing.
Didn't he get up and just like take a piss during that commentary too? Just like walks away.
He did. He got up. He's like, "Well, Affleck left. He'll be back, I think."
Oh, that's
that
right.
you catch that scene.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that. The
I don't watch
the
a lot.
Criterion Collection one.
I don't watch a lot of directors' commentary, but there's two that I've watched. One is Armageddon, and the other is what's his name? Gary Goddard, Gary something. He directed the 1987 masterpiece, Masters of the Universe. And there's a director's commentary for Masters of the Universe where they talk about why they didn't put Orko in the movie and they went with Wildor instead.
It was because they couldn't get the technology to levitate him, right?
Right.
I'm so stupid.
Probably the best director's commentary just was True Romance. If you ever get a chance, because like they broke it down like each like actor would just do like their scenes. Like Brad Pitt just did his, Tarantino did it, but that's a good one too.
I love that movie.
That's great.
Such a good movie.
But I agree with you on Armageddon. Though. You give me that part where they're like trying to get them all to come back when they after he's like gotten them off the ship and he like just they're all like showing you got dude in Vegas, you got Steve Buscemi, you got Michael Clark Duncan on the motorcycle. Like from that part on, I'm in.
Michael Clark Duncan's like, "Come get Big Papa Bear."
Yeah, that scene right there is just from there on, I'm in. They do all like the psychological testing, and Michael Clark Duncan's there crying and they're all freaking out. But from that scene on, I'm in.
Yeah, and who's the dude? He looked just like Harry Tynowitz. Like he takes the mic and he goes, "And the Cubs win the World Series. The Cubs win the World Series."
That's Bill Murray's brother, isn't it?
No, he was in Groundhog Day though, but it's not one of the Murrays.
Right,
that is one of the Murrays. I thought.
No,
I'm almost positive. I'm looking it up.
Oh, he's looking it up.
He was the fake Santa in
Yeah,
Home Alone.
That's
Home Alone. Yeah,
that's one of the Murrays, dude.
just look up Herman's
Ken
Head.
Hudson Campbell.
So then I'm wrong.
From Herman's Head.
Can you say that again?
I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's Max in Armageddon. Ken Hudson Campbell.
Well, then fine. Off to see the groundhog.
Yeah.
Don't mess with me, pork chop.
Terrible movie we love. Groundhog Days.
No, Groundhog Day's not terrible. It's fantastic.
Fantastic. Herman's Head. That is a deep cut, man.
Yeah.
Lisa Simpson was in that show.
She was, yeah.
Yeah. We may discuss her later because I might have a movie with her in it on my list. But all right, Shankster, don't try to think about it. It's gonna ruin you.
No, it's not. I've had this one and I love it. And the more I think about it, like today, thought about it a lot and realized how bad it really is. And Roadhouse.
Ooh.
I've been like looking up lists.
Wait. Here comes Tony in the chat.
Tony's
I'm waiting for Tony in 3,
Mind.
2.
I love this movie. I'm in anytime it's on. I don't care what point of the movie I come in on. I'm in.
Oh, it's a bad movie, but it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
It's wonderfully bad, but I love this movie. I will sit if it's on in a bar with no sound, I will sit and watch it.
What is your favorite part of Roadhouse? Because for me, it's easily the way that Sam Elliott says "mijo" to Dalton.
It kills me is that just a bouncer is world renowned.
Right.
Who knows who Dalton is, and this is what I told you. So this was either going to win it or lose it for me, but probably lose it. But like you think about it, there's literally where are the cops in this town? Not once do you see a cop. There's fights and people getting stabbed nightly at the Double Deuce, and not a cop to be found anywhere.
All paid off, dude. Come on, and did you see the movie?
But Brad Wesley bringing J.C. Penney to town, though, that's But I remember watching this probably when I was way too young, probably 10, 11, when it first came out over at a buddy's house.
Is that his heart?
When he rips out, when him in the fight with Jimmy, Jimmy when he rips his throat out, and
throws his throat out. I mean heart, yeah.
Like that one bouncer goes, he ripped somebody's throat out, before it's just like this legend of a bouncer.
I think you killed the man, Brick.
Yeah, would you think that guy would make a lot more money as a bodyguard somewhere for someone important than protecting some shitbox like honky tonk bar?
Also, how do you become like a world renowned bouncer like pre-internet? Like,
Yeah.
do you guys like have like
word of mouth,
like
man?
pigeon carriers where you send, dude, this bouncer's sick.
There's bouncer bulletin boards all over the world, man.
It's like, but what was it? Well, Brian will get this. It's like the 1970s Minnesota area with all the wrestlers who were bouncers back in the day.
What was it? Grandma Bees?
Mm-hmm.
Name of the bar? Yeah.
Yeah, like everybody.
All the Road Warriors, the dude from Demolition, Kurt Hennig, Rick Rude. Yeah, they all bounced at this one bar in Minnesota.
But I mean, like I said, I love Roadhouse and we'll watch it anytime it's on, and give me a double feature with that and Point Break, and I'm done for 4 hours. You put those back to back on, and I'm good for 4 hours to just sit in front of my TV and watch those.
Utah, two.
Utah, give me two. Give me two.
But yeah, it's terribly, it's bad, but it's just so good.
And Andrew Vaughn's uncle was in Point Break. He looks exactly like Gary Busey. All right, so for weeks, people have been asking me what the next draft is, and when I explain to them, I'm like, "Oh, it's take a bad movie, and it's just bad movies you love." And they're like, "Give me an example." I go, "Well, I keep calling it the Twister draft." Twister is on every. It's like what movie is that? PCU where they claim that there's a movie with Gene Hackman on 24 hours a day, right? That's fucking Twister. Twister is on TV 24 hours a day. If you have like a Mondo cable package, you will find Twister 24 hours a day, and I'll tell you, I'll watch it every fucking time. Every time. It's a goddamn awful movie about a woman who has a vendetta against the weather. Against the weather,
she's pissed at the weather.
So yeah, I love Twister. I love the cast of Twister. I love everything about it.
I gotta agree with you on this one. This is an absolute elite pick. I saw this the night of my 8th grade dance. Like, I'm old as shit, right? I saw this the night of my 8th grade dance in
1984.
1984, yes. It was a double feature with the Karate Kid.
Oh, Machi.
I love this movie. That's fantastic. That's a good pick. That's an elite pick.
Philip Seymour Hoffman is just great in that. So good in that.
Carrie Elwes, he tries to have like a folksy accent, like a folksy American. Like, when I got your opinion, I'll give it to you, and you're just like, what?
I asked this question in the news and rumors section of Yumper and Svo, so I'll ask it now because I think it's relevant, right? They're working on a Twister sequel right now.
Yeah.
Are you stoked for the Twister sequel, or fuck yourself, Twister?
Oh man,
sequel?
it's like pissing on the Mona Lisa.
No Paxton, I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, no Paxton, no Seymour Hoffman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cameron from
Alan
Ferris Bueller. He's busy.
Yeah. Ferris Bueller, you're my hero.
That we may discuss that one later too. No, I'm kidding. I love that movie.
He was in wasn't he? He was in that show with Michael J. Fox, Spin City.
Great show.
Fucking fantastic show.
He was great. Stuart Bondak. He was
and then
great
Charlie Sheen took over for Michael J. Fox. And it went to just horseshit. Sorry. This is why I love drafts and conversations like this, because we're on task.
Yeah,
but we also break down other things too. So,
we're going to be doing that the whole night.
By the time the night's over, we'll have solved most of the world's problems.
That was my plan.
Okay, I have my second pick. Man. All right, I'm gonna give a little shout out to my boy. Fellow Penguin Tony, as well as our good friend Not Larry, and I am picking the Weird Al Yankovic classic UHF.
Oh man,
it's been so long.
People, if you haven't seen UHF, it's one of the funniest, terrible movies ever made. It's so It's so oddball. It's so screwy. I don't know how to describe it to people that have never seen it. It's just
it's bad.
It's
watch it. Watch it.
I've seen it. I remember. Was it? I think the guy who played Long Duck Dong, right? Was
Yeah.
The game show?
You're so stupid. The Wheel of Fish.
Yeah.
He had a game show called The Wheel of Fish where you.
That and Michael Richards. Hey Stanley, you want to host a game? Be on TV? All right, just yeah. I mean, it's
Fran,
been so long.
Fran Drescher's in it. Michael Richards.
My old man took me to the Brighton Theater on Archer, just a tiny little terrible movie theater. Yumper probably remembers it. To take me to see this in the theater because I was obsessed with Weird Al. And my dad walked out and he's like, "What the fuck did we just watch?"
So anybody who hasn't seen it, it's about a guy who can't keep a job. He's like a real like creative mind, but he's like spacey as hell. He's uncle,
married to Victoria Jackson.
He's not married. They're
dating. Yeah.
And it's about him and his buddy who they just can't keep a job. And his uncle wins a UHF TV station in a poker game. And they put him in charge and he comes up with these TV shows. They're just absolutely outlandish. He has Michael Richards, who's like the janitor, take over the children's show, and it becomes Stanley Spadowski's Clubhouse, and it blows up, and everybody loves it, and they start making money, and it's just Michael Richards acting like a moron. That's all it is, and the whole movie's people acting like morons, and there's a lot of spoofs in it, and just a lot of nonsense.
The Rambo one. I remember the Rambo one.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And then there's a scene in it where Emo Phillips cuts his thumb off. There's blood like everywhere. It's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. And I still will just throw it on when I want to watch something stupid. That's one of my Svo always asks people, "What do you watch when you're sick?" That's one of my sick movies always. Because it's just so dumb.
Great flick. Great pick.
All right, Shankster, you can follow up Roadhouse with I don't know.
This is one of your favorites on this, I think. I'm gonna do here.
Well, let's before you pick, let's let everybody know that this whole idea was Shankster. This draft was Shankster's idea.
Okay.
Him and I had been sending just random movies, like terrible movies that we like, back and forth to each other for like a month. And we're like, "Fuck it, we're doing this draft." So that's the whole background behind this draft. So okay.
So I'm gonna go with one of your favorites there, Brian. Commando.
Oh. Did we get a steal? Got
a steal. I was towards the top of my list.
This is, I remember, again, probably watching this way too young with my older brother, and just, John will be waiting for you, and the thing the one part that always sticks out is when he's on the plane and he just, like, the guy takes the inside seat, he just elbows him and then breaks his neck. This is, don't bother my friend.
Don't bother him. He's dead tired.
He's dead tired. This is kind of where, like, the Arnold, like, one-liners.
That's absolutely where it started.
Started here, stick around or let off some steam, and and I just saw this. Was it last week that they was going around that the was it Bennett? Bennett. Bennett. The chainmail wasn't actually chainmail.
It was like crocheted.
It was crocheted. Yeah. It's like you couldn't have picked a worse bad guy to go against Arnold. Like he was just
he didn't fit. It was very And he was one of like the bad guys in Weird Science.
Yeah. Another one we might talk about. But it was like a ripoff of Mad Max, it's just, but that whole opening scene with him and Alyssa Milano, like having their, daddy daughter. It's like
they're doing karate and eating ice cream cones.
Eating ice cream and she's putting it on his nose. Like I've never had a day like that with my girls ever. It's like I'm like, am I just doing this wrong, or is that just like the weirdest thing with them too?
Nope, you're doing it wrong.
And it's the whole end part where he kills basically an entire army by himself. There's 400 dudes shooting in his direction, and not a single one could hit him. And then he's killing all of that. It's so out of control.
When he cuts the dude's head, or when he throws
He throws the saw blade.
Saw blade, but anything with any movie you can get Bill Duke and Arnold Schwarzenegger in though together is just fantastic.
Yep. I eat green berets for breakfast. Good pick.
And I'm hungry.
Ray Don Chong's in that.
Yeah.
Tommy's kid. All right, Svo.
All right, so I have back-to-back picks here. The first pick I'm going to go is probably the best example of interspecies erotica in a movie ever made, and I'm going to go the Marvel classic Howard the Duck. Probably one of the first Marvel movies. I can't be the only one that wanted Howard to hook up with Leah Thompson in that movie, right?
Well, Leah Thompson's hot in that movie.
Like we wanted that to happen, right?
Yeah. Who didn't want to hook up with Leah Thompson?
Right. I wanted the Duck to hook up with Leah Thompson in the movie. I was like, come on, you guys are a perfect couple.
Much better choice than Tim Robbins in that movie.
I'll be honest with you. I haven't watched Howard the Duck in like 25 years.
Oh my God. I used to be obsessed with it. I was like, Dad, can I rent Howard the Duck? He's like, fucking again, Jesus Christ.
I just remember the guy from Ferris Bueller, the principal, like when he turns into the monster or whatever.
Yeah,
that's what.
Like
that's
his
the one
eyes.
Yeah,
I remember that. Like, yeah,
that and Tim Robbins, and that's like the two. It's been so long since I've seen that.
Yeah,
I loved Howard the Duck as a kid. The next one, my next pick, if we're going right into it, I'm going to be very specific with this. But I love the movie Police Academy 5, Assignment Miami Beach. I remember going to see this movie at the drive-in, and I probably shouldn't have been watching it when I was that young, but I just, for some reason, I fucking love this movie.
Oh my God! This is the first one without Gutenberg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
Brian is shaking his head.
I got nothing, man. I've seen it. I'm sure I have, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, what's happening, Dork?
I mean, as long as Tackleberry's in it, it's fine. It's fucking fine. That's good.
When they was it the sunblock that says Dork across Harris's chest? He just walking around.
I don't
was
know
Commandant
why.
Lassard in it?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was out there getting his like some award, and that's what it was.
He's like retiring.
Yeah, they thought the whole thing was like a joke.
Yeah.
Like this kidnapping, and he thought it was like part of this, thing.
Just the fact that they got to 5, like
That's right, y'all.
It's like they made 2 more after that.
Yeah.
Like
I never saw the Moscow one. I skipped the mission to Moscow.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it either, but like I just remember being like absolutely obsessed with Assignment Miami Beach. I thought that was like peak comedy at that point for what 7-8-year-old Svo.
See, I just watched part 2 and 3 recently. Like I think it's on HBO or Paramount. That's on one of them. But I watched part 2 and part 3 recently with the introduction to the Bobcat and
Bobcat, yeah.
Zed and Sweet Chuck are just fantastic in those movies together.
Sticks, that's a shark with a gun. Okay, I need to watch that. I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, those are I will still throw those on every. I haven't watched Miami Beach in a while, but it's been that was all. I always up to the first. I can always go back and watch any of the first 5. It's where 6 is where I can't.
I'm with you.
Was Bobcat in that one?
No, he was done after 4.
All cops are bastards, including Police Academy.
I'm with you, Sam.
I just peed a little. Is that the first sadistic penguin urination on air?
I know.
Oh my God!
I forgot Brian wears Depends to record.
I do. I just like mainline zero sugar Mountain Dew. And,
that makes me so happy.
Oh man. Police Academy 5. You're fucking crazy.
I'm sorry, man. Like I went with ones that I like that Yumper and I didn't do.
Oh man. So when I first started making my list, I just ended up with like a shitload of horror movies. I'm like, that's not fair. Like I took them all off because I think it's like an easy way out to do a bunch of horror movies.
But that's like how I kind of when I started thinking about stuff, and then you guys did the Schwarzenegger Stallone one. I'm like, man, there's a bunch in that just and you talked about Over the Top, and the sports movie one. But yeah, there was. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. There's any 80s action movie you could throw in here.
I'm wearing my hat backwards in honor of Over the Top.
It's like a switch, man.
Like a machine, like the Struck.
It's like a switch.
When I go to draft, I'm gonna just.
That and I know I said this. That kid is the worst. Kid, absolute fucking worst kid ever in a movie.
Well, we just gotta respect Terry Funk for being in that movie.
That's right. Mr. Cutler wants to see you.
Mr. Cutler wants to see you. All right, Shankster. Police Academy 5. Jesus Christ.
I was a little disappointed this wasn't brought up in your sports movie draft. Another one, I think I saw this in the theater. This will tell you how old I am, but Teen Wolf.
Yep.
Oh, that's an elite pick.
That's on my list for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody in that movie.
I think we talked about Teen Wolf for a little bit in the sports one, but it was it was brief. But yeah, nobody drafted it.
Everybody is like 35 in that movie. Styles is like 40. It's like it's like
Chubbs is like 45.
Yeah, it's just there's nobody in that movie that's in high school. Even remotely close. The basketball is absolutely absurd.
So,
coach is the best in that movie.
I know it's a running joke, but like everyone used to make fun of like Beverly Hills 90210 because none of those guys were actually teenagers in high school. Yeah. I got a guilty pleasure, and it's a TV show. One Tree Hill, right? Like I watched the shit out of One Tree Hill and I'm rewatching it right now. I realize these guys are like fucking 27, 28 years old. I'm like, how did I not see this?
What? Gabriella Carteris was like 50 by the time 90210 ended, and she's playing like a 24-year-old. You guys gotta give me credit for knowing the name Gabriella Carteris.
Gabrielle Carteris,
she's actually with her, like at the peach pit, and she's got like the thing up to her ear, and they're like shouting into it because she can't. She's like this like 90-year-old woman.
She's like the president of the Screen Actors Guild or something crazy. Yeah.
Oh, we got some One Tree Love in the chat. Vindicated, baby.
But yeah, I watched Teen Wolf. I had a buddy had the couple of the songs on his iPod, and we played that when we'd bartend. We just throw that on, like the Win in the End, and the song and then the other basketball song, like the first time he turns up
in the end.
And then the Way to Go. I think it was the other Way to Go was the other one that played like when he first turned into the wolf, and was doing that. And
there's like the girl, don't you know that your grandma's got big teeth or something like that? Isn't that
the Big Bad Wolf? Yeah, but it's just the whole movie is just absurd, and I think Michael J. Fox was like just so mad he was doing it because they're like at the same time we're shooting Back to the Future, like literally the same like block, and that's before he had gotten it. But yeah, it was like, but that's just it says I will again another one I will watch anytime it's on and love it.
Keg of beer.
Give me a keg of beer.
Did you guys ever watch Key and Peele like when they were on and they were live? Yeah. Right? Do you remember the Key and Peele sketch about like the creative meeting for Gremlins 2?
No.
So there's a skit where they're in a boardroom and they're brainstorming ideas for Gremlins 2. And like one of them is like a key is just like, all right, we have a good formula. We're just going to run it back. And then they bring in this creative director and it's Jordan Peele. And he's like, nope, we're just going to brainstorm ideas and just throw it out there. If it lands and sticks on the wall, we're going with it. And they were like, let's get a female gremlin. Let's get Hulk Hogan and put him in the middle of the movie. Right. And then, that's how I feel about Teen Wolf. Just when you think that this movie can't get any fucking goofier, they make a sequel, but make it about boxing in college.
I don't acknowledge
as if
that.
that's actually a thing.
That movie doesn't exist to me.
Well, I feel like that movie's like, hey, we got Jason Bateman under contract. We got to do something with him.
Right.
Like, let's just do this.
Was it Chubby was the only one who was in right?
The dad was too.
Oh, they're at the beginning, but yeah, the Chubby, it was a different style. It was actually a guy who was younger than the original one.
Hey, Nope is a masterclass in filmmaking, Yump.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yump gets it.
So, now we're going to go into the musical portion of the This is kind of a deep cut. Like, I feel like a lot of people haven't seen this movie, but John Waters did a movie with Johnny Depp called Crybaby.
Oh, Crybaby? Okay.
I don't know if everybody. I don't know how many of you guys have seen that movie, but
okay,
it's an absolute fucking train wreck. But
you could have stopped it. John Waters made a movie.
Were you when I said John Waters? Were you hoping we were going to talk about Pink Flamingos?
I was hoping it was Pink Flamingos.
That movie's so fucked up. All right, Crybaby. So Crybaby is about like it's a musical about it's basically a movie about a musical about greasers. Like Johnny Depp just got out of jail and he's like he's like the cool motorcycle riding guy, but the music is just awful and hilarious. Ricky Lake is in it. Ricky Lake's in every John Waters movie, but
Tracy Lords, right?
Tracy Lords is in it. Yes, as well. Just absolute trash, but I can't not watch it. I actually Brandy had never seen it, and a handful of years ago, I made her watch it, and she's like, "This is fucking great." That's Mr. Crybaby to you. So yeah, that's my pick.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. I know of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
I was gonna pick Rocky Horror, but I didn't want to upset my wife. It's like her favorite movie, so we'll just skip over that. But that's a bad movie. That's great.
It is. It's really I get it. I get that. It's a fun one though.
I'm gonna reach back to the 1980s with this one. What says fighting your brother's death than skateboarding?
Oh, Gleaming the Cube!
I'm going with Gleaming the motherfucking Cube. Which they actually repackaged that movie at one point and changed the name, and it was like My Brother's Honor or something like that.
It's also impossible to find.
Is it?
Digitally. You have to buy like an import, like region-free DVD.
I had no idea. But yeah, it's Christian Slater, and he's a skateboarder, and his adopted brother gets murdered because he has information on some type of money laundering
Asian gang.
Yeah, some type of Asian gang.
I think they were Asian.
I was gonna tiptoe around that, but yes, it's an Asian gang. And his brother is adopted, and he's Asian, and they choke him to death because they're trying to get information out of him, and it's like an accident, but he dies. And Christian Slater and his skateboarding pals, Tony Hawk included, save the day and save the girl, and everybody's happy. Tony Hawk works at a Pizza Hut, and he drives a Pizza Hut truck around.
Tony Hawk also in a Police Academy 4.
Was he?
Tony Hawk was one of the skateboard with David Spade.
Yeah. He really stretched his acting limits there, huh?
Lawndale. Yeah. Who's Lawndale?
The Cube's was it Manny from Scarface, right? Isn't he in it? The guy, I can't think of his real name.
Was it Steven?
Bauer.
Yeah.
Is it Steven Bauer?
Okay. Yep. Yeah, and it's perfectly 80s. So, definitely
it's a fantastic pick. Your list is elite. It's no Police Academy 5 Assignment Miami Beach, but your list is pretty fucking good right now.
That's your Muppet Christmas Carol pick right there, Svo.
How is that the Muppet Christmas Carol? This is a movie about a pod about bad movies.
All right, Shankster, what do we got?
Oh, yeah, it was a toss up between these, but I'm gonna go. And I remember went to the theater to see this to try to be scared. Was Anaconda.
That's an elite one.
Just
I feel like Anaconda's been discussed multiple times recently across like all of the Sadistic Penguin shows.
I'm a little insulted here. No, I fucking love Anaconda.
Again,
It's
that's
so bad.
It is. It's one that watch it just for John Voight's terrible accent.
Oh, his accent, Baby Bird. He calls her Baby Bird throughout the whole movie.
John Voight.
Just
What a piece of shit that guy is.
And it's just everything about just everything. This so horribly bad. You had Owen Wilson, the chick from Remote Control, the Eric Stoltz is in it. It's just.
I forgot Eric Stoltz was in it.
Well, that's because he gets stung by a wasp and he's asleep for the whole movie.
Yeah, it's like half dead the whole time. But yeah, no, like I said, definitely afraid of snakes. I figured, all right, let's go see this. Get the get scared. Get the shit scared out of me, and just like, wow, what did I see? But
you loved it because it's fantastic.
That's why it's on here, man. It's terrible movies we love, but yeah, it is. It's you're one or two actors away from that is straight to video movie.
Oh, and all the other sequels were straight to video.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a box office hit.
It was, yeah. No, I remember we went like opening weekend and it was packed.
Dude, I skipped the last period of school for my buddies and I to go to like the 3:00 showing of it.
Yeah, it's. At the time, I was like, it's camp, but it's great.
It's awful.
I think John Voight's acting is what truly turns it into like that realm of like cult classic horrible movie. You know what I mean? Like,
and the really dated CGI of the actual snake.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at Police Academy 5.
Steve's off the hook now, right? With his Muppet pick.
Yeah,
this is fucking bullshit.
I want Steve to chime in and be like, "I won that draft." Steve Niss, he's going to be on next week on It's Getting Drafty in Here.
Oh, okay.
He's on the Bluey episode. But all right, Svo, you got two here.
I got two here.
Do we want to add a sixth round?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. So my fourth pick, I'm going to go with my favorite Tupac movie ever made. A little number with Dan Aykroyd called Nothing But Trouble.
That was between Anaconda and that for my last pick.
Nothing But Trouble is a terrible movie. Dan Aykroyd and John Candy play every character in this movie.
They do.
But I absolutely love it. It was Tupac's first film appearance with the group Digital Underground. All around the world, same song. They play it in the judges' chambers. They get, they're on a trip out of the country and they get arrested and their vehicle gets impounded and they're stuck in this fucking messed up complex. It's hilarious. It's fantastic. It's terrible. It is terrible.
It's
really bad. It's really
I watched that again probably within the last year. It was on HBO and I watched it. It's just as terrible now as it was then, but again, it's gonna suck me in if it's on. I'm gonna at least for a little bit. The Bone Crusher.
Yep.
Daniel Baldwin. The Bone Crusher.
Jackie, it's 100% a real movie, and it's fucking crazy stupid. Like
Dan Aykroyd's nose is basically
crazy stupid. Dan Aykroyd and John Candy, they play at least 6 characters?
6 or 7 characters.
John Candy plays his sister.
John Candy plays a cop and his sister, and then you got Dan Aykroyd as the Bobos.
Yep, and the
Isn't
judge.
it?
Yep.
The Judge. Yeah.
It is the most messed up movie. I really want to give Jackie access to my digital movie library
Just
and
so she
have
can
her
watch that?
have her watch it and then come on when I'm back from my trip and talk about it. That's how fucking dumb
It's
this movie
so
is.
stupid.
Like, this is the dumbest fucking movie I've ever seen.
It was on my list. I
But
was
cannot-
thinking about it.
I cannot not watch it when it's on.
Right.
No, it is. It's so bad. And one of the guys was it Taylor Negron, one of the guys with Chevy Chase and Devin Haney.
Yeah.
He might come up later, but in another couple that I have down. But yeah, it's.
Oh, you're gonna go Biodome, aren't you?
I'm not going Biodome.
Okay.
Brandy was looking at my list and she's like, no, Biodome. And I'm like, that's not the worst good Pauly Shore movie.
I thought about it.
Jury duty.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, that's
Honestly, like, if Pauly Shore had, like, his first 4 movies were bangers. Like, they're bad, but they're fun as shit.
Yeah.
Encino Man was great. Son-in-Law was great. In the Army Now was hilarious.
And the Army Now is funny as shit.
Yeah,
and
that
even
was good.
Jury Duty was like okay.
I saw Biodome at the drive-in. Part of like an all-night thing at the drive-in. That was one of the movies.
Can I address that comment real quick, Brian? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Jackie, I'm not going to pick Son-in-Law because that is not a bad movie. That is just a good movie that I watch every Thanksgiving with my wife.
Steven Tyler PJs.
Steven Tyler PJs.
It's a bad movie, brother.
No, I love that
That's
movie.
the thing. That's like one of the few like movies you could designate like absolutely 100% as a Thanksgiving movie.
Oh, it absolutely is. The other one is Zach and Miri Make a Porno.
What about Trains, Planes, and Automobiles?
Well, that definitely is, but Zach and Miri Make a Porno is a Thanksgiving movie.
But when I hinted that another Pauly Shore movie might be discussed, that was the movie's son-in-law. So I don't think I was going to draft it, so it's not a big deal.
I'm going to go horror movie for my next pick, and I can't remember what year it was, but it is the Edward Furlong classic about virtual reality and CD-ROMs, Brain Scan.
I don't remember a moment of that movie. I know I've seen it, but I don't remember a moment of it.
What was his name? The Prankster? I think it was. Oh, look, my wife is watching from Seattle, guys.
Hi, Kelly.
Kelly.
Every Thanksgiving, we do watch Zach and Miri Make a Porno. It is one of our Thanksgiving movies.
I text you a line from Zach and Miri Make a Porno at like 1:00 in the morning the other day.
What's funny is I'm going to get a little sentimental here, and I've thought long and hard about. Brian texted me this line from Zach and Miri at like 1:30 a.m., and it's when Brandon St. Randy looks at him and he's naming off these movie titles in Zach and Miri, and he said, "You better shut your mouth or I'm going to fuck it."
That's the name of the movie.
That's the name of the movie.
Yeah, that's
like,
the name of the movie.
He's like, "Have you seen anything that I've been in?" He's like, and he names off all these like gay porn titles, and he goes, "You better shut your mouth or I'm gonna fuck it."
That's the best scene in that entire movie.
I had a cousin Mike who passed away tragically, and I loved him very, very much. And we saw this movie. We saw Zach and Miri 50 times. And when he passed, I seriously considered getting "You better shut your mouth or I'm gonna fuck it" tattoo on me. And I thought long and hard about it, and I decided to do my crow tattoo instead.
I mean, I know we're just kind of like veering off of Brain Scan to talk about Zach and Miri Make a Porno, but the part where what's the Robinson? What's his name?
Craig Robinson.
Yeah,
he
this ain't Amistad. You're goddamn right. This ain't Amistad.
He bitches about his wife the entire time, and then you finally meet her, and it's Tisha Campbell.
It's Tisha Campbell.
Oh my god!
He's like, if you could do it all over again, what would you do? He's like, I'd jerk off and stay single. No, Brain Scan is this terrible movie, like from the early 90s, where Edward Furlong gets this CD-ROM virtual reality game sent to him in the mail. He calls this 800 number in the middle of the night, and they send him this game, and he commits actual murders while he's under some hypnosis in the game. And it's fucking crazy. It's so terrible, but I can't help but watch it. It's really good if you have never seen it. It's terrible, but it's really fun.
Now that you describe it, I don't think I've ever watched it.
I remember it, but I don't know if I ever saw the whole thing.
I think his name is the Prankster.
I keep thinking of Lawnmower Man for some reason when you mentioned Brain Scan.
Like,
I don't know
it came
why.
out at the same time.
With like really cheesy virtual reality stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are most together.
Oh, your name's not Brian in my phone. It's Filthy Prick. I have to fucking. I just sent you the movie poster. So maybe when you see the Prankster, you'll remember it.
No, I don't remember.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it. Eddie Furlong is like one of
The
those guys where you're like,
trickster.
he's gonna be a damn superstar, and then he never did anything.
Have you seen him lately?
No.
Look, I know I'm fat, but he's like bigger than me now.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
Made 2 good movies.
Yeah.
That's a T2
Is
and American History X.
T2 and what?
American History X.
X.
And Detroit Rock City.
And
Oh,
Brain
okay.
Scan. And Brain Scan.
And Brain Scan.
Brain Scan.
Yeah.
Oh man. Tony still got the CD soundtrack.
Of course he does.
Tony
has got to have.
Tony owns everything.
He's got to have a CD wall that's like the size of my basement.
That's funny as hell. It's like, I have that in a closet somewhere. I have that in a closet somewhere. That dude's got 300 closets in his house.
He's like the dude in High Fidelity. He's like that are looking for an original, not repressed Smith single, and he's probably got it.
You don't have Blonde on Blonde? Don't tell anybody you don't have that. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Is this the new Green Day?
I couldn't get into the Jesus and Mary chain. What? Because it's really fucking good, right? That's one of my favorite movies. I love that.
Love
movie.
I
that
saw it,
movie.
man. I'd never seen those guys live, and then I saw them open up for 9 Inch Nails. I was like, holy shit!
Barry Jive and Uptown 5?
No, Jesus and Mary Jane.
They're good. I've never been lucky enough to see them live. All right, Shankster. Round 5 coming at you.
I'm gonna go back to some '80s action and gonna go Tango and Cash.
Okay, that's a good one.
Again, just so much, just so cheesy. It's just, Kurt Russell's doing the Macho Man elbow off the prison, and then all of a sudden he's just grabs the belt right around the wires. He's, nowhere near should have hit that, just, the apparently cops back then were just that famous making front page news, not in general.
It's one of those movies where you watch it and you're like, who the fuck wrote this?
Probably it had like 9 different people. Somebody was fired.
Why does
during
this
the middle of it.
exist? How much cocaine was involved?
Exactly.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
exactly.
1980s, man.
Get a young Terry Hatcher in there, and anything with Kurt Russell, I'm in on. But yeah, it's another one of those that's just so cheesy. But it's same prison as Shawshank, actually.
Is it?
Is it really?
Yeah. But it always reminds me. You ever watch old Saturday Night Live with Stallone was hosting, and the skit is Norm Macdonald gets in a car accident like with Stallone or something. He's up there and he just every time Norm Macdonald gets in pain, he just starts talking shit about Stallone movies. Like about over the top about how that he starts talking about Kramer versus Kramer. He's like, what that was missing? Arm wrestling. And he just keeps bashing. He's like,
Norm's
like
a treasure, man.
Will Ferrell shows up and he's like, it's like Stallone punches him. Like, he's like, Norm Macdonald's like that, and Stallone punches him because he's talked about one of his movies. And Will Ferrell shows up. He's like, just because he said Tango and Cash is jackass, you got to hit him. The whole thing was like, he's like, stop or my mom will shoot soft. He real like faded off, like, what did he say? Did anybody hear? But he's just like ripping like every bad Stallone movie.
I don't remember that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, look up what's Stallone hosting it and find that sketch with him and Norm Macdonald. It's great.
I'll have to look her up. Norm Macdonald's a treasure, though, man. One of the funniest things I've to this day I've ever seen in my life was he was on Conan, and Courtney Thorne Smith was on with him, and he's in. Norm had already been on, so he's in the middle seat next to Andy, and then Courtney Thorne Smith is being interviewed, and she's talking about a Carrot Top movie that she's doing. A movie she's doing, Carrot Top.
Chairman of the board,
right? And Conan's like, does this movie have a name? And Norm goes, yes, Box Office Poison.
He asked if it was chairman of the board was spelled B-O-R-E-D.
B-O-R-E-D, yeah. Poor Courtney Thorne Smith trying to put her career back together after fucking Melrose Place. And she's doing movies with Carrot Top, and Norm Macdonald effectively just destroyed any chance of it gaining any traction at that point. But yeah, Norm's a treasure. All right. I still have the third movie on my list, and I think this might piss a few people off. But if you go back and watch this movie, it's another late 80s film. If you go back and watch this movie and tell me that it's an actual good movie, I'll give you $50. I don't know. I'm going Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh. Okay.
I fucking love that movie. But it's a bit of a train wreck.
I could see that. I just don't. I've never considered it to be a bad movie.
I feel like George Carlin is the only good part of the movie.
That's fair.
And it's great. Well, yeah, go ahead, boo me. That's fine. That's what I'm here for. You think I try to win these drafts?
Right. It's just it's so goofy.
But yeah, I mean, I love it. I'll watch it. I've watched it a million times, and I'll watch it a million more. Genghis Khan shit, destroying the sporting goods store, and
the mall scene at the end. Yeah.
Right.
Taking Napoleon to the water park.
They're playing cards with Billy the Kid, and he's like 3 aces. You're just what the fuck. But yeah, I mean, I love that movie, but it's a pretty terrible movie. So there we go. I'm gonna go with that one.
All right.
So now I have my 1, 2, and 3, which were Twister, UHF, and Bill and Ted's. I'm gonna go horror. Well, pseudo horror. I mean, it is a Stephen King with my last one. I go to sleep at night sometimes, and I see a semi truck with a clown face or a jester face on the front, and it scares the shit out of me. I did mention earlier that I may be putting a Lisa Simpson movie on.
That's right.
On here, and Lisa Simpson is in this movie as well as Emilio Estevez and many other people.
Going from the first Batman movie.
Yeah. He's the guy that runs the truck stop. So yeah, I'm going Maximum Overdrive. Another one. If you haven't seen this one, it's absolutely ridiculous. There's an alien spaceship that takes over all of the machines on the planet, and it's about a group of people that are stuck inside of a truck stop, and they're because it's surrounded by all the semi trucks. They can't get out. Yeah,
there's a great question out there. How much cocaine did Stephen King do? Yeah,
right.
You directed it, right? He directed that.
I think that might have been his first movie that he directed.
First and only, I think.
Let me see. I am looking it up. But yeah, it's funny. Tony mentioned Who Made Who. So it's an AC/DC song. I feel like that whole movie, the entire idea of that movie was as a vehicle for an AC/DC album.
What are the odds, and we can wait 10, 15 seconds here, that Tony has the soundtrack somewhere in a closet?
No bookie will take that.
Yes. How many? Yes. This is I honestly didn't know who this was, and now this is my cousin Josh, and we used to watch this movie over and over again. And there's a scene where there's a soda machine that basically kills a little league baseball team, and the coach puts $1 in, and the pop shoots him and hits him in the balls, and he falls over, but he makes this gut wrenching sound. Yeah, Stephen King did direct that.
One of my first cassettes. I'll bring it Saturday.
Tony, if you bring that, I'm buying you popcorn.
If you bring that, I will buy you a beer at the restaurant after we go to the movies.
Oh my God, he has everything.
Okay, I love my list. I can't wait to do a dump list too because I have so many movies on mine.
Yeah.
All right, Shankster.
Oh, this is a tough. I can't. I'm like trying to even decide on some of this, like to go with the cheat sheet, but man,
That's right. So my cousin Josh calls me Stan. So yeah, of course. Of course. That's God. I'm stupid.
We know.
Hi, Josh. I love you.
I'm gonna go. Just, I guess it's another back to the '80s growing up. Like I said, these are movies I thought were great growing up, and it's one that I probably watched one of those ones I watched the last year. I threw it on to kill time, and I texted my brother about an hour into it, and I'm like, "Hey, I started Red Dawn to background noise. I'm an hour into this now, and I'm here for the next 55 minutes till this is over." I watched that on repeat as a kid. Just again, the cast is great. That opening scene where you have they're flying in on the parachute, rushes their parachute, and the teacher goes out and just gets shot, and then you see you see the kids dying, which is something you never saw.
Right.
That, and then it just kicks off from there. Powers Booth is the alien. You get Jennifer Grey, Leah Thompson, C. Thomas Howell. Just and the ending is great when you got Patrick Swayze and Charlie Sheen walking through town, and the one guy comes up on him, and sees that he's carried his dead brother, just kind of lets it go, and just it's not, like I said, it's something that I love, and again, not a great movie, but it's just one movie that if it's on, no matter what part, I'm there for the whole thing.
Yep. That's definitely, and that's one of those 80s classics too. Like it's so 80s.
It's
do you remember in the scene in the second Wayne's World movie where he goes to the gas station to get directions, and they have like an actor working at the gas station giving him directions, and he like stops the scene and he's like, "We need a better actor here. Can't we hire a better actor?" And they bring in Charlton Heston. That whenever I see the scene in Red Dawn where he's standing at the dad is standing at the fence yelling, "Avenge me!" That's what I think of.
Yeah, it's just it's just, there's like no timeline. There's just surviving for months or how, I don't even know if it was just months or how long it was.
Right.
They survived, but they happen to get to the spot to dig these holes to cover up to hide it, and then they. Jennifer Grey lures them and they just pop out. It's like, where do you find the time and the tools for this? It's at the time, like I said, watching it as a kid, you just enjoyed it. It was just like, this is great.
Yeah.
A bunch of teenagers, fighting, fending off the Russians. And you go back.
I hate Russians to this day because of that movie.
Yeah. But that's that guy that they kind of based John Goodman off of in Big Lebowski. John Milius is the one who directed that. But he's supposed to be kind of has that look that John Goodman had in the Big Lebowski with the flat top, the same glasses. That's like where they got that look from. Was the director of this, but yeah,
and the remake with Chris Hemsworth, like much later on, was awful.
I never saw it. I never bought. Yeah, that's like one of those where you're like, you don't fuck with greatness.
It's like Point Break, like the remake of Point Break. That doesn't exist. Footloose remake doesn't exist to me.
Oh.
Jackie, I believe it was Gordon Street. He's like, yes, Gordon Street.
I met a girl on Gordon Street once.
Not a day goes by I don't forget. I don't remember what we once had.
Isn't Spooner Street where Peter Griffin lives?
It is.
Gordon Street. Oh man,
good pick, Red Dawn.
Yeah, that's a good one. I see.
Yeah.
I have a hard time considering that a terrible movie, even though you're it's not that good.
Yeah. But this thing is like, I was showing this list to Lisa. She's like, these are all movies you like. I'm like, no, I know that. I said, these are terrible movies, but I love them all. I'm like,
see, I was expecting this to be like more contentious, like people getting upset over our picks, but
The one that I thought of mine that I thought would be like the worst would be Roadhouse. That because I know like I don't know anybody who doesn't like that movie, but it's just overall if you look at it, like I said, you take away Patrick Swayze, again a direct to DVD movie.
There's a bunch of websites that have like terrible movies that are like cult classics or terrible movies that people love, and I think the three most common ones that I saw on those lists actually were drafted, and that's Roadhouse, Howard the Duck, and Armageddon. Well, just because a list is right doesn't make you right.
Well, fuck you.
It's just, and that's the whole thing about. I mean, with any movies though, it's just so subjective. It's just
right
what somebody loves, somebody else hates. It's just it doesn't matter. It's what you like, and it's just. Because like I said, there's some bad movies. Like, and I mean, you have talked about this one. Best of Times was one that. Is it a good movie? No. Will I watch it anytime it's on? Absolutely. Robin Williams is a football player. It's just doesn't make any sense. Kurt Russell, yeah. Robin Williams, no. But it's just a movie that I loved, and it's not a good movie though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like looking at at like our conversation that we had, and like we really haven't named too many of the.
I kind of stayed away from some of those we talked about, just in case. But yeah,
Demon Knight.
Ooh. Yeah, I just watched that one recently. Love it.
I totally forgot we talked about The Last Dragon.
Oh yeah.
Who's the master? Kiss my Converse. Svo doesn't like that movie because he says the Converse line. He's supposed to say "Kiss my Nikes."
Yes.
So that's how it goes. All right, Svo.
All right, I'm going to wrap it up. And I had a hard time picking between two of these movies, but I'm going to go with the one that's a little bit more well-known. The other one that I was going to choose was a movie from 1996 with Reese Witherspoon and Kiefer Sutherland called Freeway. It's basically just a telling of Little Red Riding Hood, but it's fucked up, right? She's like this white trash hillbilly that leaves her stepfather that like is like abusing her to go to her grandmother's house, and this hitchhiker picks her up. But I'm gonna go with
Karate Kid.
No, you shut your mouth. You
the third Ninja Turtles movie where they go back in time.
No, I'm gonna go with Hackers.
Okay, that was another one that was really common on a lot of the lists.
I love Hackers, but it is a terrible movie, and the technology dates itself. Like they start talking about 200.
Pretty sure you just made an enemy out of my wife. Just to let you know. It's like
why
movies?
I mean, I love all these movies.
I don't think she can detach herself from it being an actual bad movie.
Like, there's not a single movie on this list that is not in my digital library, except for Gleaming the Cube.
Because you can't get that one, no.
Which you can't get, right? But no, I love Hackers.
But you would have it if you could.
Well, I'm a hoarder of movies. You know that.
Yeah.
It's like the technology dates itself, the code names, right? Hack the Planet. It's just a bad movie, but it's so fun.
I think I've seen that one time and don't really remember.
It's me too. I've probably only seen it once, and
your wife has better taste than you.
Well, she picked me, so yeah. I mean,
well, that's fair.
I thought you'd go with the other 95, 96 classic, Virtuosity.
No, we go Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh, terrible.
That's just bad. It's not even bad good.
No, that's just bad, yeah.
No, I gotta go Hackers. It was between that and Freeway, because Freeway is a fucked up movie. Oh, here's my wife picking
I've never seen Freeway, actually.
Oh, you should watch Freeway because it's entertaining, but it's messed up.
Yeah, I watched it. I think I saw it one time. Kiefer Sutherland just plays a dirtbag.
He's a dirtbag.
Kelly Svo collects stuff? Is that what you're saying?
So do you, man. Why are you busting my chops about collecting stuff?
There's not a bunch of wrestling toys on the wall over there.
Yeah.
See that corner with all the Funko Pops? There's like 200 back.
The hats behind me?
Where's
That's
the
a green screen. The hats are a green screen.
It's a green screen. Okay.
Yeah.
How many hats have you bought since Kelly's been out of town?
Just one.
She
That
didn't know
sounds like-
about it. Just one. I'll tell her about it later.
Well, now she knows, Brian. Thanks a
Oh,
lot.
no, I actually beeped it out. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah, we're good. But all right, let's go to dump lists.
Go ahead, Svo.
Go ahead, Shankster. I don't have a lot, man. Like I kind of ad lib these off the top of my head. I still love the Garbage Pail Kids movie. It's really bad, but I love it. I collected.
I don't remember a minute of
John
that movie.
Aston's less talented brother.
Yeah, I collected the cards when I was a kid, and there was a Garbage Pail Kid named Disgustin' Justin. The Mask.
Wait, the Mask or Mask?
Rocky Dennis.
Well, first of all, Brian, you know that we don't talk about the 1985 masterpiece with Cher and Eric Stoltz Mask. I'm talking about The Mask with Jim Carrey. It's bad, but it's awesome.
I like Caitlin's pick of Bubble Boy. That's a good one.
Bubble Boy's good. I got Cable Guy.
Yep.
I like Caitlin's list is good, but Not Another Teen Movie doesn't count because it's a spoof movie, just like Scary Movie. Right, where they're just making fun of all the other movies. I think Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead belongs on that list. I love it, but come on. It's about a babysitter that dies and they get rid of her.
Just like think about that.
Right, like
let's make this dead body disappear. Let's drop it off at the morgue.
That's kind of what I got. I think Three Ninjas is an absolutely elite pick.
Good one, Brandy. Ace Ventura is definitely up there. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is on my list as well. Yumper. I should have bought that lamp.
You should have. I'm a little disappointed that you
Dude,
didn't.
okay, so I didn't know it worked. I didn't know if it worked or not, and it was $75.
Well,
so
that's a lot of money. You are a collector of things, though.
I know. See, Brandy would have stole that thing immediately. You should see. I'll take a picture of her weird, creepy wall in her office. Yeah. Shankster, what do you got?
Suburban Commando.
Oh, jeez.
Starring the Undertaker.
I had a different Hulk Hogan movie on my list.
No Holds Barred.
No Holds Barred. Yeah. I'm saying a lot. Like some of these, I wasn't like kind of debated on. Like I had Last Boy Scout was one that I had. Again, movie that I'll watch anytime.
I have trouble calling that a bad movie though.
It was borderline for me. Like I had Armageddon on my list too, but I was like,
Armageddon's horrible. Armageddon is so cheesy. Like it's one of the cheesiest movies ever.
Yeah.
I did put Death to Smoochie was one that
I love that movie so much.
Smoochie's
I
good.
will watch that movie over and over and over again.
Again, another like that one. Some Better Off Dead, Smokey and the Bandit. Fletch was another one I put on here. Striking Distance with Bruce Willis, another where the river cop in Pittsburgh. Greedy with Michael J. Fox. You guys have seen that one or not? Surviving the Game with Ice-T and Gary Busey.
I haven't seen that in forever, man. That's a deep cut right there, dude.
That one. I think we talked about it. Just One of the Guys.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
This one I Con Air. That was a borderline for me. Movie I love but wasn't sure. Then Showgirls.
Oh, Showgirls is just bad.
Showgirls is just terrible.
Yeah.
But I can see.
I'm hoping that this Barbie movie, when I go see it next week, is bad, like so bad it's good.
I agree. That sounds
Barbenheimer is going to be legit.
And then I had The Burbs on there too.
I like The Money Pit.
I like Money Pit.
It's
I'm gonna present a list real quick. Jackie sent me a list here.
Oh, Jackie sent a list. I love it.
So we got Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Big Top, Pee-wee's Big Top. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is not a bad movie. It's a wonderful movie.
Pee-wee's Big Top's bad, but
Big Top's real bad.
That's just
National Treasure's a good one. Selena, yes, that's a terrible movie. Yeah, you watch over and over again. Major League 2 is a good one.
The New Guys is great.
Brandy, is Win a Date with Tad Hamilton the one movie you tore your ACL at?
Running out of the theater?
No, she jumped over one of the seats and tripped and tore her ACL at the movie theater.
I hate this list just because Selena's on there.
You like Selena?
Selena's fantastic.
It's Selena's.
Anything for Selena's.
Look Who's Talking is terrible, but
yeah
it's
everything
watchable.
else on this list is fantastic except for Selena.
Okay, Brandy just confirmed she did tear her
ACL. Oh my god!
Win a Date with Tad Hamilton. See, now you can't accuse me of forgetting things.
He always forgets when you're injured, Brandy.
Okay, I almost picked this, and I was gonna get approval first before picking it, but I was just gonna pick Joel Schumacher Batman movies, just like a blanket. I'll watch those over and over again.
Blank Check, that's a good pick right there.
Blank Check's a good one, yeah. Brian Bonsall is such
pains, yeah.
Brian Bonsall,
Family Ties.
Family Ties. He's such a junkie, man.
Yeah.
What was one I forgot?
What was her name? The VJ from
Duff.
MTV.
Duff, yeah.
Duff, yeah.
Yeah, she was a looker.
That's funny. Jackie commented, I like Big Top Pee Wee because of the prominent role egg salad sandwiches have. That's also why I like 40-Year-Old Virgin. I spent the whole weekend preparing the eggs.
Really getting into it.
The accoutrement, and then I just really wasn't hungry.
Oh, man.
Jackie's awesome.
You talked about 40-Year-Old Virgin twice in 3 days.
Yeah, it wasn't planned. I'm sorry.
No, that's good. That episode, by the way, was fun.
But I only talk to people in movie quotes. So, it's bound to come up at some point.
That's why you and I get along so well. Because, I get yours, you get mine, and we just it works.
I have a buddy who's
Svo,
just at the same time.
Anytime now, my wife is going to hop in the chat and say, when we first started dating, I thought he was so funny and so creative, and I realized he was just quoting movies all the time.
Yeah. That's pretty much me. Okay. Last Starfighter I had on mine. That's a terrible movie, but I love it. I'll watch it a million times. Masters of the Universe. We talked about that for a minute earlier. There's
a movie, and I want to see if Shankster knows it. But there was a movie that came out, I want to say the early 90s with Brad Pitt and Ricky Schroeder from Silver Spoons called
it's Rick Schroeder.
It's called Across the Tracks. And
I've heard of it.
He is like this, he goes away to not military school, but he's in juvenile detention, and he comes back, and Brad Pitt's this star runner for the school team, and Ricky Schroeder's this fuck up, and he turns out he's really good at running track. And
dude, I've fucking seen that. It used to be on HBO
all the time.
I remember that one.
And I fucking love that movie.
It was before and after Poison Ivy would be on.
So I Caitlin went Saving Silverman here, and Jackie went, yeah, but it's come on, yeah.
So in that movie with Brad Pitt, did Rick Schroeder try to talk him into his right-wing ideologies too, or no?
No, that was Freedom Fighter with Jim Caviezel.
Oh God!
Just wait till Saturday when you guys show up to see Indiana Jones, and it's actually the Jim Caviezel movie.
I'm looking so forward to that.
Greatest prank ever.
That would be the greatest prank ever.
I wonder if Yumper and I can make it happen.
So, Masters of the Universe, back on that one real quick. That is the biggest piece of shit movie ever, but I'll watch it a million times.
100 times.
Earth Girls Are Easy was on my list.
Also, another movie that is not available to buy digitally.
There's a reason you just
it is because it was owned by Canon Films.
Great filmmakers.
Yeah, Bloodsport.
You are next. Earth Girls Are Easy.
Oh, okay.
Terrible but hilarious. And then I have the monster movies of Deep Blue Sea and Lake Placid.
had Deep Blue Sea on my list.
Yeah.
The two that
We're also bummed you won't be there, Brandy. We'll miss you, but I'll save a seat for you in your honor, and I'll trip over the chairs and tear my ACL.
Freddie Got Fingered.
No, that's just not bad good. That's just bad.
Which
Can
one?
you sing the song for us, Brian?
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages? When my favorite part of that whole movie is when he's in the shower. His dad goes in and like check on him or whatever, and he's in full scuba gear and he's got his soap on a rope and he's like, "I found a treasure," and he throws him through the glass in the shower.
Do you remember that he basically just played the same character in Charlie's Angels 2? He's like, "Is it the Chad? Is it because of the Chad that you broke up with him?"
I don't think I ever watched that movie.
Oh man.
People on the
Toxic Avenger.
Stairs.
People Under the Stairs. Okay.
People Under the Stairs is a fantastic.
That's a
thing.
good
that
one.
Was another
yeah.
like on Skinamax all the time before it went to like softcore porn at 9:00.
The Emmanuel years.
Emmanuel in space.
Was that Red Shoe Diaries?
Red Shoe Diaries was Showtime, buddy.
Spo knows all of them. What was the one with David Duchovny?
I don't know. I didn't
Red
really
Shoe
watch
Diaries.
it.
Was that Red Shoe Diaries? Okay.
Yeah.
Played Toxic Avenger, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. A movie that was discussed on one of your recent podcasts, Airborne.
I love Airborne.
I know. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
I love it.
The only digital streaming service that has it is Amazon.
Was it it's a weird thing. Was it I think not Larry brought it up on the other day, but Loverboy with Patrick Dempsey.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Can't Buy Me Love.
Yeah, I was just about to say that as soon as someone said Patrick Dempsey, you shit up my house.
Seth Green is his little brother.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Seth Green's really young in that.
I know.
He's like 12.
Dude, he's been hanging around Hollywood since he was like a kid, man. It's bound to happen.
He was drinking when he was 12. Strange Brew was on my list.
Oh yeah.
Great movie. Love that movie.
Ski Patrol.
Oh, I love Ski Patrol.
Which one? No, that's
There's Ski School and there's Ski Patrol.
Because Ski School is the one I really remember.
Ski Patrol's the one with George Lopez is in it.
Yeah.
Oh, Without a Paddle's a good one too.
That is a good one.
I had Summer School down.
Summer School's a good. I was actually thinking about that one today. Actually, before I made my list, and it just popped out of my head. I think.
Also, Grown Ups with the Sandler crew.
The first one.
The first one.
Okay.
Like whenever it comes on, I can watch that. Like I don't care. I love Grown Ups. All the tattoos on my arm are for like songs that remind me of people in my life, like on my right arm.
Yeah.
And I was gonna have my nephew Trey. I showed him Grown Ups at a way too young age, and I was gonna have him draw me a pina colada because they sing the pina colada song in it. And he drew it for me. He was like 7 or 8, and it just looked like a giant wiener. So I decided not to get that tattoo.
Good story, pal.
Hey, man.
Oh man, I had Son-in-Law. We talked about Son-in-Law already. And then
Son-in-Law's
last one,
not bad though. It's good.
Last one's for Jackie, Little Big League. I will watch that movie every single time it's on TV. It's horrible.
It is terrible.
That kid was a little shithead too.
Starring former Chicago Cub Leon Durham
and Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Why is that the worst story you ever heard, Yump? Seriously, I told a story about my nephew. Fuck off, Yumper.
One that and again, I love it. I went to the theater to see this. I don't know if you guys even heard of it. Quick Change.
Yeah, with Bill Murray. I saw that at the drive-in. I saw that at the drive-in with my cousin Josh, who was in the chat tonight.
Yeah, that's another one that I will watch.
I think we saw that with Dave at the drive-in.
Dave's not here, man.
And then Men at Work then was another one I had down. Golf Clap?
Golf Clap. Weren't they supposed to redo that movie with Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man?
Oh my God, that'd have been so.
That
good.
was legitimately a thing. Like they were going to redo Men at Work, but it was going to be Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage.
That's like the alternate universe where we get the movie Bad Boys with Dana Carvey and John Lovitz. Because that's what it was. That's what it was supposed to be originally. Was Dana Carvey and John Lovitz.
Bad Boys?
Yeah.
Like the Will Smith, Martin Lawrence one, or the Sean Penn, Isai Morales one?
That would have been I'd watch that version of it with those two, but no, the Will Smith, Martin Lawrence one was originally like a Dana Carvey, John Lovitz movie.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
Although I support anything that gives John Lovitz work. So.
City Slickers 2?
Yes.
Fair enough.
If it gives him work, I don't care. As long as John Lovitz and Diane Wiest have a job, I'm happy.
Diane Wiest?
We're just like naming Farrelly Brothers movies now. Shallow Hal.
Shallow Hal's a good one. He wants a gal. La Bamba's a good one.
Oh, now Yumper's gonna kiss my ass and talk about my cousin.
Little Nicky.
Yumper. Little Nicky's fucking terrible.
You put it down your gullet and you swallow.
That's just bad to me.
Yeah.
Little Nicky's bad to you?
Yeah,
I don't like that one either.
Really?
I mean, it's hilarious, but it's like I can't take it. I can't take the voice.
Yeah, it's the
it's cast really well though. Like that whole movie was with Harvey Keitel. It's really, really like well done in terms of like casting like a completely ridiculous Adam Sandler movie. But I can't get past the voice on that one.
I fucking love Little Nicky.
I mean, you could put most Adam Sandler comedies in.
Yeah.
Waterboy is it's terrible.
Oh, it's so brutal.
Whenever my boss's name is Bob, whenever he walks by my desk, I'm like, Bobby, is your daddy Roberto? Take the money, dopey.
I'm trying to think.
Caitlin agrees. Can't stand Little Nicky.
But like you brought it up earlier with Ferris Bueller, like some of those like Weird Science. I mean, again,
Weird Science is bad.
But it's just again, we'll watch it anytime it's on with. Bill Paxton is just so good in that.
But also movies that you could not make now.
No.
None of these.
No, like that's like I can't tell you how many times growing up I watched Smokey and the Bandit and never realized how racist it is till I got older. And how racist Jackie Gleason is in that movie. It is unbelievable.
Yep.
Same with the first Bad News Bears.
Oh, it's horribly racist. Yeah.
Tanner. Well, Tanner's the one who's horribly racist. But yeah, it's just like you watch these movies. I'm like, I never picked up on this. I mean, even like both Smokey the Bandits, it's like 2's almost worse than 1 with some of the shit that Jackie Gleason says.
Yep.
It's like, oh my God. Like I'm like, why did my parents let me watch this? It's just like
different time, man. I think that just shows how old we all are at this point.
God, I remember watching Andrew Dice Clay stand up when I was like 11, when we had HBO.
Let me bring this question up. You and I had this conversation, but let me bring it up to Svo in the chat here. What do you think of the Never Ending Story being on this list?
It's not my thing, man. Like it just never was my thing.
Okay.
Like I get why it's universally loved.
Do you consider it a bad movie? Because
it's just a bad movie to me. It's not my thing.
It's totally ass.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'll watch it a million times, but
somebody brought that up, like for like to have my kids watch. I'm like, absolutely not. That one scene will just ruin them, but I'm not gonna do that to them.
And I get why it's loved. It's just I don't know.
You mentioned when we were having our conversation, Shankster, was Hot Rod was the one that you mentioned.
Oh,
that is
Little Monsters.
Love Little Monsters.
Is that Howie Mandel and Fred Savage?
Yeah.
What about Monster Squad?
Yep, that's exactly because that's what flowed into our conversation because you mentioned Monster Squad right after I mentioned Little Monsters.
Yeah.
Monster Squad's
Shane
terrible,
Black movie.
but yeah, you watched it a million times. The Super with Joe Pesci.
Yep, love that one.
Ready to Rumble.
I love Ready to Rumble. I loved the live action version of Casper with Christina Ricci,
And with Junior from Little Giants.
Devin Sawa.
Yeah, Final Destination.
Yeah.
Short Circuit 2.
Yeah, so racist.
Fucking Coneheads.
Oh God,
I fucking love Coneheads. Here's another one that I love too. Coyote Ugly. Like, it's terrible, but I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
fucking Crocodile Dundee.
One or two.
Oh God,
Yes.
Brandy loves Crocodile Dundee. That's what's funny about that.
Yeah, Crocodile Dundee's legit.
Again,
This is a good one from Brandy. Cutting Edge. I'll watch
Cutting Edge is a
I'll
good
watch
one.
that movie a million times.
One again, going to age myself here. Either take your pick, Any Which Way But Loose, or Every Which Way You Can.
Every Which Way You Can, yeah.
Yeah, both of those are, I still have a guy like my old job when I was bartender would always go, you know what this is? And he pointed to his arm. An arm? Not that. This. Black Widow.
Dick Tracy.
Oh God.
See, I just didn't like Dick Tracy at all. I didn't find it appealing in any capacity.
I remember how big, like as a kid, like that movie was supposed to be.
All the action figures came out. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they ruined the end. They ruined the like the Madonna thing because they made an action figure with the face.
Yep.
And Madonna was under it, so like people had the figure before the movie came out.
The Fan with Robert De Niro. Sorry, that was
actually Shankster actually asked me that question recently. Like, are you going to pick The Fan? Another one in our conversation was Dragnet with.
with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is so good in that.
Like the OG Fast and the Furious is terrible, but I love it.
All the Fast and Furious are terrible.
No, all the Fast and the Furious are just terrible. Like the first one is like good and I love it, but it's awful.
What about like Paul Walker?
I know Yumper will probably kill me, but I think The Fifth Element is a terrible movie, but it's super fun.
I have a hard time calling that one bad, but
I do too.
I can understand that perspective though.
Yeah.
Definitely can yeah, I definitely can understand that. It's like the come in my man.
See, like Brian, like he's like, I understand it. Yumper's just like, fuck you, Svo.
Chris Tucker was hilarious, man.
He's like movie outing canceled.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to be a partner anymore.
Yeah, Brandy's mad at you too.
What? Because of Fifth Element?
Yeah, she loves Fifth Element.
I don't know. Like Yumper and I had this disagreement about Demolition Man and Total Recall. Like he went Total Recall, I went Demolition Man. Like,
I agreed with you on Demolition Man.
Well, that's because it's now Brian and Svo at the show. Oh, what about the 1992 masterpiece Gladiator with Cuba Gooding Jr. and James Marshall?
Oh my
Brian
God.
Dennehy.
Brian Dennehy.
And Brian Dennehy.
We got Dickstown in there too.
Sorry, that's gonna be the Gladiator reference.
What about
be my new Evil Dies Tonight?
What about They Live? That movie's horrible and wonderful.
Grandma's Boy.
I was
Boy's a good
talking to a buddy today and telling him about we're doing this, and he's like, so like, what would you say is a good bad movie? And the first thing out of my mouth was Big Trouble in Little China.
I think that's actually accurate. And
Russell's had a lot of those.
I think that that's like the perfect example of it though. Like it's so widely acclaimed for being like crap.
Yeah.
And Yumper's gonna get mad at me now, so Yumper and Tony are like fixing to murder me on Saturday now.
They're gonna start their own thing.
See, like another one is like I think I mentioned, it was Fletch is another one that I think is another one that's just like it's like a long Saturday Night Live skit. It's just Chevy Chase doing bits the whole time, but it's another one that's just hilarious to me.
How about the Kid and Play classic House Party?
I thought you were gonna go class.
What about House Party 2? That one was a pajama jammy jam.
House Party 2, man, this shit's gonna make House Party 2 look like House Party 3.
Dude, House Party 3 with Bernie Mac is. I don't care. I will watch that one.
Here's a good one. Idle Hands.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Seth Green again. There you
Yep.
go. Never saw
What
one.
about Flash Gordon?
Oh,
Like the dude from God, was it Ted? Right?
Yep.
Is that what they're? Yeah.
yep.
Oh,
There's so many, dude.
good.
This
Like we could probably do like another like whole
Johnny B.
episode.
Good with Anthony Michael
Anthony
Hall and
Michael
Robert
Hall.
Downey Jr.
Yep.
Robert Downey Jr. is awesome in that. So is
Yeah.
the
I'm pretty sure we had a
pizza-
conversation about that on the sports movie draft. Johnny
got a
B. Good.
pizza for Histler. But yeah, I mean, even any, I don't know, I guess about European Vacation. I know you're.
Yeah.
just
Oh,
watching-
European Vacation is terrible.
It's awful. We watched it the other day. We set up the projector
God,
outside. It's
so
awful.
bad.
It's,
So bad.
you know what makes this the kids? The kids are terrible on that one.
Yeah.
The Rusty and Audrey are.
Oh,
bad.
it's just a bad, but it's really poor.
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
poor. Like the writing is just awful.
Here's a movie that I love too, Money Train, with like Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
I think I saw that once when it came out, and then I never saw
Yeah,
it
it was
again.
Jennifer Lopez was in it. It was fucking awesome.
Well, who was the dude? The Beretta. Yeah, what's his name? Oh, Robert, or is it
Yeah, Robert.
killed his wife, or allegedly.
Yeah.
Robert Blake.
Robert
Yes,
Blake. Thank
yes,
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Clay Pigeons is a good one.
Yeah, dude, there's so many. Like
Is
this
that
could have been
Vince
a
Vaughn?
4-hour episode.
Yep, we could. Like I said, we could probably do 15 rounds. But
Yeah.
but okay, we're at an hour and a half. I feel like we've overstayed our welcome at this point. I'm trying to keep episodes at that time. That's the limit. Unless we're talking about Nintendo games, then we'll go 3 hours. But
Paperboy.
Yeah.
Paperboy. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Svo, you want to talk about Saturday a little bit?
Yes, I am Svo, one half of Yumper and Svo. My partner in crime, Yumper, has been mocking me all evening in the chat, but he is a good dude despite that. We are hosting our second annual Yumper and Svo movie outing on Saturday at 3:30. We still have a couple spots available because of some cancellations. So if you want to come, hit my DMs on Twitter. I am Doughboy Svo. You could text Brian.
You can make out with me during the movie. My wife's not going to be there, so
She's not going to be there.
She'll never know. Don't worry about it.
We just finished up season 2 of Yumper and Svo at the show. We come back in 3 weeks when I get back from my baseball trip. I am part of the Sadistic Penguin Network, along with Magnificent Stan, Yumper, Aloha Mr. Hand, Lex Lopez, Roxy. We are all Penguins. We love all you guys, and I will be starting my college football podcast with Bruhan Luke soon.
Boomer Sooner.
Exciting.
And
Oklahoma
I love you guys all. Thank you for having me on, Brian.
Thank you, Svo. Thank you for being on, Shankster. It's always a
Thanks
pleasure,
for having
man.
me.
You come up with any other ideas for me, buddy? You're always welcome here, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Tomorrow night, update. Tomorrow night, playback for AEW Dynamite.
How dare you?
Me and CPG, and I think Baloney's gonna be able to stop in. I'm not sure. Otherwise, maybe Roxy or Dougie Fresh will pop in with us. We've been having a blast with that. We did the playback last night for the home run derby. That was such a good time. I'm gonna throw out some clips probably tomorrow because we started doing Randy Newman impressions, and I'm still laughing like the next day right now over it. Next week we'll be doing next week Tuesday. We'll be drafting Bluey episodes. I am just going to be doing the intro for that because I'm not very well versed. I don't have children, so I'm not a Bluey fan. I've been watching a few here and there, and it's a charming little show. But we're going to have our good buddy and Drafty Pod regular Jackie hosting, along with Steve Niss, Baloney, and my buddy Kevin. So be on the lookout for that next Tuesday. We're going to have a few other drafts coming around the way. We're going to be doing a City Connect jersey draft. We're going to be doing a legal things that should be illegal draft. That one's going to be a lot of fun. A bunch of other ones. So stick around throughout the summer here. I'm not going to be going to as many White Sox games because they fucking suck. So probably more Drafty Pod episodes coming our way. But again, thanks everybody for hanging out. This is episode 21. Have a good night.
See ya.